Hi Stampers, it's Lisa with Queen Bee Creations here with today's card. How cute is this? And it actually opens this way, so it's not, the base isn't what we're opening. We got a bigger base with a small card on top, but the extra fun part is that this part lifts off and can be used as a bookmark. So whoever you send the card to, if they're a reader and they read paper books, they may use this as their bookmark when they're reading their book. So we get to send them a card and a gift all at one time. So let me show you how I did it. Welcome, Helene, Jeanne, Mary, Connie. Looks like all my regulars are here. We're using the Little Monkey stamp set, and this is new. It's in our annual catalog that just came out. You can now shop out of the 2023-2024 catalog from Stampin' Up. This one is now live. And it has a builder punch with it in that you can punch out these shapes. Getting my light, I'm sorry. And you can make a monkey using the pieces in here. So we're going to do a little bit of everything. I wanted to show you both stamping and punching. So we're going to use both on here. Like I said, my card base itself is just one piece that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is what our normal card is once it's folded up, so it fits in our regular envelopes. Our standard layer of the 4" by 5 1/4. And I don't have all my DSPs yet from the new catalog, so I'm using this, which is our online exclusive that goes with the Irresistible Blooms. And I just thought it had some nice greens in it and would work. So I've got a 5 by 5, and I scored it at 2 1/2, and then again at 2 1/2. Then I have this piece, which is going to mount on here, which is 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then this is 6 1/2 by 4 1/4, scored at 3 1/4. So this is our little card that's going to open on the front. So let's do some stamping. Get our monkey going. So I have them already on their blocks. And so I wanted this guy to be hanging down at the bottom. And then I was going to stamp the tree branch right above it. And I was having trouble kind of lining it up when I did the monkey first. So let's see if I do the branch first. So I just stamped that in early espresso. Catherine says she just has the hippos, birds, the owls. They would all work on this too. Once you get the fold down and the measurements, you can use this with any bundle that you wish. Okay, I'm going to use Pretty Peacock because I pulled that out of the Designer Series paper. That's the green I'm using. So I'm going to use that for my greeting on the inside. And then I'm going to stamp the monkeys in our new pecan pie. This is what I've been using to substitute since we don't have soft suede anymore. And this one I actually kind of like better. It's a warmer brown. So let's see. Have this guy popping down from the top. Got this guy standing on the bottom. And this is the one that was hanging from our branch. I'm missing something else. Oh, I wanted to do more branches because they have leaves. I could have chose to do those. They have 2 tropical leaves in here and actually even some vines that I could use, but I decided to go with just these up in a tree, and a tree usually has more than one branch. So I was just coming in with some extras, which I suppose I should have stamped in the same color I started with. We're going to color it, so it won't be a big deal. It'll match up, but it's kind of funny. Okay. So I'm just randomly stamping some leaves and branches around up on top. And then we can go ahead and do some coloring. So I used our darkest of the browns, and they've actually changed this. They used to be numbered. They were 100 through 1,000 because there's 10 of them, but they've actually changed it and made them, let's see, can I put my fingers on it? They made them like a medium brown, a deep brown, a dark brown. And they come in sets of 2. Here we go. So these are the natural skin tones down here. And what I'm doing is I'm using the darker of the deep. So these came out quite a while ago and just were numbered. And then at some point I didn't notice, and they changed the numbers on them to where now they have regular names like the rest of our Stampin' Blends. And somebody was recently asking me where to find the Stampin' Blends, and they are in here. When you turn to our new color families in the book, you're going to notice that they've kind of rearranged things. I think Gorgeous Grape used to be a bright, now it's a regal. So as they added and removed colors in order to make sure there was still 10 in each family, some of the colors have moved. And then they have the same thing, though, that there's the cardstock, the classic Stampin' Pad, the refill for that, and then the bottom number is the Stampin' Blends. So if there's a dash, that means that we don't have them in that color, but these are all the numbers for all of the blends. And then down here is the bronze and ivory, which is another one. And then the color lifter is here as well. So to that person who is asking me where to find the blends, that's where they are. Okay. So I'm just going to come in and use, like I said, this dark brown for this tree branches. Did anybody do any crafting over the weekend? I would love it if you'd come over to Facebook and show us some pictures of what you've been working on. Everybody always says they think their work's not good enough, but it actually is. I think we're always hardest on ourselves. Since I've had my shoulder injury, I have not liked most of the cards I've made since then because the muscle relaxers are messing with my head a little bit. So I can't think real clear, so I feel like they're not up to par. But I think we all do that to ourselves. I'm going to do the middle of his face with crumb cake. And this is the lighter crumb cake because I wanted to be able to see his eyes and not cover them up. And then I have the pretty peacock for our leaves. And I don't want to do too many at once because I don't want the ink to dry. I want to come in with my lighter color while the ink is still a little bit wet, because that's when it blends. When the two colors are wet, the light and the dark will blend together. So whenever you're doing large areas, you don't necessarily want to color all of the ones that are that color. You want to come in and do a small section, and before it's dry, add the other color. We probably could use our blending brushes and maybe sponge or brush on a little bit of balmy blue to make sky in the background. Oftentimes with sky, I'll use the basic border dies and use this scalloped one to be a cloud. I use it on the backing to our designer series paper that is the white. It's kind of a glossy, and the fact that it's glossy allows the blending brush to just smooth right over it very easily. I also considered that maybe these would be something good to color with the colored pencils. I know since the blends came out, I've been very excited about them, and I use them more often. But the blends would be cute, or the watercolor pencils would be cute because they wouldn't be quite as dark. You might see more of the design from the stamp. You know, like, can we almost lose the middle of this leaf? And like I said, with the darker of the crumb cake, I lost the features on his face. Most often with watercolor pencils, you don't lose that detail. You might also notice that I have stamped in our standard inks rather than Memento Black. Normally, I tell you to stamp in Memento when using alcohol markers. And that's just because you want to use a water-based or a dye-based ink. And our StazOn is an alcohol-based ink. So you do not want to do that because, like I said, the alcohol will blend with the alcohol and the water will blend with the water. So we use the opposite of what we're coloring with. So if using watercolor markers or watercolor pencils, use alcohol-based ink, which is our black StazOn. And if you're using the alcohol blends, then you use a dye-based ink, which is actually all of our inks, all of our standard colors, and the Memento. Mary says she's been doing yard work. That's fun. In between raindrops, I suppose, because we've been getting quite a bit of rain at our house. The tulips are coming up, though. They look really pretty. I've got tulips and daffodils in my front yard now. This was dark petal pink. I just did the insides of his ears. And then I'm going to color him with the pecan pie. And I'm extending a little further into the tree branch so that he's definitely hanging on. And you'll notice I'm turning the paper because I want it to be comfortable for my hand as I'm coloring. I get the best chance of staying within the lines if my hand is comfortable. I'm going to do a little more dark under here because this would be where the shadow would fall. almost done. I'm not going to color the inside. I'm just going to finish up this monkey and then we'll be able to move on and do our corner bookmark. And then that one I'm actually going to punch out so you can see how to do it the other way. I could have punched it onto white or colored it, stamped onto white and colored it and then punched it out, but we're actually going to stamp onto colored cardstock. So there's no coloring involved. Kind of speeds up the process for us here. So you can do whichever you like. And there's only one of the monkeys that actually punches out. This guy who's standing up down here in the corner, that's the one that coordinates with the punch. These other ones don't, although they're not that difficult to fussy cut. Because I did fussy cut one because I was playing around with the idea of making this guy either put up on dimensionals or with a wobble. Have you guys seen wobbles? These are little action springs that can go underneath, and you would peel off the backing and then stick it onto your piece. And then you would peel off this backing and stick it onto the card, and then it makes the guy wiggle. He wobbles around. But I decided since we already had the 3D of the bookmark, I probably didn't want to do the 2. But just an idea that those little animals that look like they jump around a whole lot would be really cute on an action wobble. I did one with the hippos and when she's in the little ballerina dress and I put her on the wobble and it came out really cute. So I'm going to bring in my pieces again. Go ahead and put these together. And I'm just kind of centering. Just kind of looking at the leaves to see if there's a direction, but I don't think there is. So there we go. There is our card. And if you wanted to, you could put another layer of cardstock to cover this up, or maybe some designer series paper. It didn't bother me to see the coloring, but it might bother some. Then I've got my corner, and then I wanted to put a monkey on it. So I brought in some of our pecan pie cardstock. Like I said, I'm going to use the guy who's standing up. And I'm going to stamp him on an edge with the feet down because that's how it's going to feed into the punch. But here he's all one color, and I thought I wanted his face to be lighter. So again, I'm going to use that pecan pie ink, but I'm just going to stamp his face onto some scraps. I love several of the new colors. I've been surprised. I wasn't sure I was going to like the new in colors, but the Moody Mauve goes beautifully with Bubble Bath, which is our new powder pink colorish. It's like a baby pink. And then the Boho Blue I used with Midnight Madness, which was a darker blue. That was really cool. Okay, so the face is going to be way down there at the bottom. That's this down here. And Pebbled Path is just kind of a cross between a brown and a gray. So the more I play with them, the more I like them. And I think I told you last time, you can buy a pack of the cardstock that is just a sampling of all of our new colors, where you get, I think it's 2 of each. So if you're worried if you're not going to like a color as much as you think you might want to consider getting the little sampler. I could put my finger on it. New catalogs always throw me because they moved everything around. Here we go. Okay, it didn't have a picture. That's what threw me. So you can buy the color families with the 20 sheets, 2 of each color. So you can play around with the new color families or the new core colors. So you would get 22 sheets, 2 of each color. So you would get the Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Pecan Pie, and Pretty Peacock. So you can get that in the 8.5 by 11 or the 12 by 12. And you can even get a bundle of all the new ink pads. So they would give you a savings if you bought all the new ink pads together as a set. And then down here, they have the same idea with the in colors. So again, one of those things that I knew was in the catalog, but they're not real obvious. So I try to point those things out. Okay, this is Lemon Lolly. Like I said, that was our new yellow. So I'm just stamping yellow on yellow. And then the banana is this little thing off to the side. I thought the banana was just too cute not to use. This is Pecan Pie. Oops. A little too much glue. Okay, whenever you get a little too much glue, you can always pounce your pad on it, the embossing buddy, because it's filled with little powder that will take the sticky away on that. I could put my fingers on copper clay. Not quite getting it. But this is copper clay, and this is pecan pie. So there's, I don't know, a little more red, I think, in this one. But not as much as this one, which is Cajun Craze. Okay, so our bookmark, that's what everybody came here for, right? You want to know how to do the bookmark? Okay, so like I said, this is 5 by 5, and then I scored it in half both directions and burnished it with my bone folder. And then I'm going to remove one of the corners. Doesn't matter which one because it's all, you know, the same. But across from our missing piece, I wanted to fold over this one. So I'm matching the corner and then pushing back. And then it can fold this way, which is the gal I was following had it this way. I guess she just glued that down. But I went this way so that it was buried in there and we're not seeing that loose part. It looks like I have a little more of the score line over here, messing with my fold. Okay, so we're just going to make that all line up, and then I'm going to adhere right in there. And again, I'm making sure that I'm matching up my edges so that I'm all straight. And then that's all there is to that bookmark. Then it just slides right on the corner. Oops, back in the screen. And then, like I said, I made this guy so he could sit on here. And actually with my moving the branch up, so I got all of my monkey hanging, it also makes his legs land right on there, which is perfect. Now I'm just giving it some glue because I'm not exactly sure where he's landing. I might have set him on there and I don't know, drew a little pencil line or something to find out where I could put all my glue, or maybe put a glue dot under the tail. But I want him on there pretty good because he's going to get some movement. So that's our little bookmark. When you're saying sample cards, sample papers, the bookmark was a 5" by 5". Did you mean these? The little ring of the various colors? I have the photos taken. I haven't quite thrown it up on my site yet, but if you're interested, I can definitely throw it up there. This is just a color swatch book, and this, I guess the one I grabbed, it still has our old colors, but the new one will have all of the new colors. It'll have every color we have, all 4 color families, plus the 2 sets of in colors. And then if you wanted to, you can print out the color swatches that have, like, it would have the 3 Pacific Point and then some color recommendations that they go with it. That part is already on my website. You can download that one for free. The ones I showed in the catalog, yes, the catalog is live. The entire catalog is now up on the website and available for sale. And a couple people also asked me about the online exclusives. They're kind of hard to find on our website, but if you go to stampinup.com, or if you click the shop now from my website, you would go to the menu and then shop all, and then there's a big long list, and online exclusives is in that list. So yeah, they would make these little bookmarks. It'd be great for students, especially since we want to encourage them to read over the summer. Catherine says she's going to go out and buy wobbles. Yes, they will be very cute on all the little animals. Oh, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend. I forgot about that. I know somebody said it was like right after the coronation of the new king. I'm just scrolling back through, make sure there's no questions I didn't answer. Oh, 6:30 in the morning in Australia. That's some dedication. Thank you for being here with us. So everybody needs to put in hashtag prize patrol so that you get entered into the drawing, because I'm going to spin a wheel and we're going to decide who gets today's card mailed to them in the mail. So you want to input it as hashtag prize patrol, all run together as one word, because I have the computer collecting it behind the scenes, and the computer is very picky about spelling and making sure there's no spaces in there. And when you do that, we can go ahead and share our prize wheel. Going to Japan. That's exciting, Helene. That's going to be a fun trip. But remember, you can always come back to YouTube, and they're always available on replay. So we have 13 entries. Let's go ahead and draw and see who today's winner is. I don't think it does matter which side the wobble goes on. Jeanne is our winner. Congratulations, Jeanne. To go to my website and put in queenbeecreations.net, and then up in the address bar, you're going to add /prize patrol. And that's where you will go to enter your address and claim your prize so that I can send it out in the mail to you. So thank you for everyone who joined me as we made our really fun little bookmark card with the corner bookmark. Oop. And we will continue playing around with this monkey bundle on Thursday. So remember to come back Thursday at 2:30 and we will do this again. So thanks for joining me. Bye.